Hi there, welcome to the bakery. I'm Arlo, this is Penelope.
I'm Allison.
And we're from Tecumseh, Michigan, and this is Tecumseh Bread Pastry. And today, we're going to be making some blueberry muffins with the help of Penelope. Now, the starting point of making a muffin is understanding the method, which is going to be mixing the wet ingredients, then mixing the dry, and combining them to ensure that you have a smooth batter, which will then be baked off later today. So to start with, we're going to be getting our sugar and our eggs and combining them with a whisk. So I like to put them right into the bowl. You could use a mixer if you'd like, or you can use a large stainless steel bowl. Now I take the whisk. May you take the whisk? Perfect. Now I like to begin just whisking. There you go. Words are hard sometimes. To make a, see, magic is happening. Baking is magic. Now I like to whisk this till it's smooth, but it doesn't need to be whipped by any means. We're not making whipped cream as much as we are just lightening the sugar and egg mixture. This is a very basic recipe. You can use just traditional granulated sugar. We're using a Michigan sugar and some local eggs. The eggs should be medium to large. The recipe calls for about 3 eggs roughly. When it has been mixed till it's about lightened, right there, we're able to begin adding some of our liquid ingredients. So we can add in any order. We could start with olive oil, and I like to pour it in slowly while whisking. Why we choose olive oil is because it helps keep the muffin extra soft and gives it an extra shelf life. So if you want to keep these on your counter for another day, the olive oil will help. Butter will kind of harden over a day, but it has great flavor, and that is an option if you'd like. So once the olive oil starts to get whisked in there and mixed nicely, we can begin to add the sour cream. Now the sour cream is added for texture and also flavor. We're using a full fat sour cream. Just like that. I like to make sure it's entirely out of there. I know. All right. So once that is in there, I just, again, begin whisking. At this point, you can't over-mix the muffin, so it's okay to use a little arm strength, just to ensure that everything is broken up and you're gonna get one homogeneous color in your muffin mix. We can now add the vanilla. We're using a full vanilla bean paste with the actual vanilla bean in there as well. I use the same spatula as I use for the sour cream. Thank you. I wasn't gonna be able to do that by myself. All right. And so once the vanilla is in there, we'll begin mixing, whisking once again. You can use an extract if you'd like, or you can use whole vanilla bean. If you're choosing a whole vanilla bean, I would just use half for this recipe size. So you can see, once again, smooth, and you can go ahead and whisk it. Again, couldn't have done it without my helper, so. All right. Oh, and if that happens, you just shake it off and you continue on with your mix. All right.
Hazard of baking with children.
At this point, we're gonna begin to add all of our dry ingredients, and I like to switch over to a spatula. The spatula is gonna be a lot lighter on the batter, so you're not gonna over-mix it. So I begin by shaking my flour. And the flour we're using is milled here at the bakery, and it's organic whole grain flour. If you're at home, you could easily take half all-purpose and half whole wheat flour and mix them together, and this would be about relative to what we're using. So we just added our flour. I'm gonna add our salt. I like to sprinkle it across the top. I know, salt's necessary. And then we add our baking soda, and also our baking powder. Both of these lighten the muffin and give it a nice bloom in the oven. Thank you so much. Thank you. Look at this. And then finally, for texture, we use cornmeal. And this is a local cornmeal, and we just sprinkle that on top as well. Now that all of the dry is added, what I like to do, thank you, is I use a light folding method.
You can do it.
Which I will demonstrate right here, where I take the batter, and I'm slowly tossing it over itself. And why I'm doing this is to enable all of the dry ingredients to become moistened, but not over-mixed. When we begin to whip very fast and efficiently, we tend to work the gluten, and that can cause a chewy muffin. So what I like to do is just continue to fold the dough as such, just over top of itself, maybe scraping the sides down as well. Is that right, Penny? She's just eating blueberries. Our measurements are going to be off,
Yeah.
but you know,
Always have extra fruit on hand.
just for the
Always.
child.
Yep.
So you can see it's starting to come together. At about this point right here, I like to add in my blueberries, but you can do whatever you'd like. You could do chocolate chips, you could do orange zest with white chocolate, raspberries. It's a multifunctional muffin recipe, and it's really to your liking. So once that's there, I begin to fold the dough once again, and you can see there's a little bit of dry, but more or less it's getting broken up. So now you can see the batter is fully mixed. There's a few little bits of dry, but that will bake out. Now that the muffin batter is made, we can either let it rest overnight in the fridge, and this will help develop the flavor, and it also can work with your schedule, so you can bake muffins fresh in the morning for your family, or just when it's more convenient for you. The batter will hold for about 3 days in the fridge. When you are ready to bake it though, we're just using a standard muffin tray with tulip cups, and you're looking at doing about a half a cup per muffin, or if you're very specific, 120 grams per. And what I like to do, will you get the sugar please?
Yeah.
It's over there. What I like to do is a nice flat scoop, and it goes right into the muffin cup as such, and then Allison will sprinkle some magic on top of it right here, like so. And then once you repeat this process till you're adequately muffined,
Can you
then we can
sprinkle
move
some?
on and go to the baking.
Perfect. That's a great spot for
Well,
it.
perfect. All
We've
right.
got a new sugar helper here.
We got a new sugar helper. So I'll continue to do this.
Penny,
And we've got the
you put
oven
it
behind
here?
us, which has been preheated to 350 degrees. If you're using a convection oven at home, you could
Here,
have
Penny,
it.
watch.
You could have it preheated to 325 degrees. Convections bake a little bit warmer. So just make sure to have a thermometer in your oven for the actual reading of what you're baking at.
Very good job.
This is
Here.
the most people who've ever made 6 muffins at one time, and it's taking all of us. It's
That's
incredible.
gonna be a really
All
good
right.
muffin.
Once it's ready, we can go ahead and set this into the oven.
Ready? Here, get some more. It's in my hand.
I am so proud of you.
She's doing a good job.
Perfect. That's incredible. Only half the batter's on your hands. All right. So when we're ready, it goes right into the oven with the help of a big red dog and a unicorn.
We gotta wash your hands a little bit. Here.
Perfect. All right. And they bake for about 20 minutes, but what you'll be looking for is them to lightly spring back on the top when they're ready. Do you smell that?
Oh yeah.
I certainly do.
Oh yeah.
Whew, that's hot. Make sure you wear your oven mitts. All right. So it's about 18 to 20 minutes. You end up with some very beautiful blueberry muffins.
Boy, that's hot. Don't touch it.
That's hot. Remember? Showed. Ow. Always use safety in the kitchen. That's the best part. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Baking at Our Bakery. If you ever need anything, just reach out to the store. You can also find our specials or hours or anything more at tecumsehbakery.com.
Thanks for baking with us, guys.